The rarest treasure is always the most valuable in video games, so the rarest Easter eggs have to be the best ones, right? These are the Easter eggs that took communities a very long time to find, sometimes years, and we're still struggling to find a lot of them today. Hi folks, it's Falcon, and today on gameranx, 15 super rare video game Easter eggs. Starting off with number 15, it's the secret beetles from the Resident Evil 4 remake. Somehow this game has more Easter eggs than the legendary original. A whole lot of new skips you can use to blaze through the longer version of one of the best games of all time. But we're not talking about skips or throwing golden eggs or anything like that. We're talking about a secret collectible we didn't notice until the very, very end of the game. Right before the last boss, while stocking up on items, we searched the docks scaffolding and found something that blew our collective minds. This weird beetle with no indication it was there. We pressed the collect button and got an item that is brand new to the remake. It's the rhinoceros beetle. It's a secret consumable and it raises your character's maximum health when used. Like the yellow herbs, but you don't need to mix them. It instantly makes these items some of the most valuable in the game, but they're also almost impossible to find. They're totally invisible in the game world and they don't shine when you're close enough to collect them. You just need to know exactly where to find them. And just like all those skips, they are an incredible speedrunning tool. There's only 3 of these in the whole game, so good luck searching every corner of the map to get a full extra bar of health. We only found 1 in our first playthrough, and there are more. They're just very rare and feel impossible. At number 14 is the secret rainbow coin in Donkey Kong 64. Now let's talk about a really big secret. It took legitimately 17 years to discover this thing. It's so impossible. The speedrunner that discovered it had to use data mining tools to find it in the first place. And what it is there's this secret rainbow coin in a totally random spot in the fungi forest level in Donkey Kong 64. To get it, you need to slam the ground in this seemingly pointless spot. It's one of the hundreds of coin collectibles you can find, and there's really no reason to get it other than curiosity, but this is one collectible nobody was really meant to find. All of the credit for this one goes to a Twitch streamer named IsoTarge for randomly stumbling on it while doing something completely different. He was using an emulator and searching for flags in the code, was totally able to find this completely impossible rainbow coin. Rainbow coins are basically rare collectibles that give all 5 types of coin at the same time. They're nice to have, but nobody really needs 976 coins, and we definitely don't need 977. And number 13 is the Headless Horseman in Skyrim. Skyrim's been mined for content for more than a decade at this point, and still there's a secret we didn't know of. We've seen more arrows to the knee than anyone ever should, but there's one secret we somehow found after hundreds of hours of playing. There's a Headless Horseman stalking the lands of Skyrim. He appears randomly at night between 10 p.m. and 4 a.m. and can spawn literally anywhere in the world, according to some sources. Others say he just wanders around Rorikstead. It's one of those secrets some of you are going to scoff at. Look, we've never seen this guy. He's actually kind of cool, so we're putting him on this list. There are some fun details. The Headless Horseman has no associated quests that, you can do. He doesn't really do anything, in fact. He rides around and he says spooky stuff. He does appear outside of his grave in the north of Whiterun, apparently. So if you want to see for yourself, go check out Hamvir's Rest. Don't try to attack him, though. Your attacks will just go right through him. Fun little detail, the Headless Horseman isn't actually headless. If you use console commands, you'll find that he's wearing a special iron helmet that's invisible, which takes his head off with the rest of the helmet. It's the kind of hack you would expect from Bethesda. At number 12 is the sarcastic announcer from Wave Race Blue Storm. Took 9 years for the community to find one of the weirdest Easter eggs we've ever seen in a video game. The bored, sarcastic announcer from Wave Race Blue Storm. Instead of a peppy announcer eagerly cheering you on, this alternate secret announcer groans at how pathetic you are, likes to say you're inferior, and drops insults to the entire race. One of our favorites is when the announcer sarcastically says, "Oh, a turbo," after grabbing a power-up. Whenever you hit the turbo, you'll hear a tiny voice going meow, meow instead.
No mercy. Oh, a turbo. Super.
Took 9 years to find. It was shared on NeoGAF by user Raul Duke. You have to put in a convoluted code on the audio menu of the GameCube game, messing with the waveform and then inputting a series of buttons. Exit and start a race with the first character to hear a bored announcer make fun of you the whole time.
Weak. Forget it. Call that a pass? Excellent.
And number 11 is Vampire in Saint-Denis from Red Dead Redemption 2. A game that is packed with Easter eggs. They're all partially randomized too, so even if you do everything right, they might still never appear. That basically happened to us while searching for the infamous vampire in the city of Saint-Denis. There's plenty of other Easter eggs that are easier to find. There's a UFO, a serial killer, weird swamp people, a ghostly man in armor, but the vampire gave us the most trouble. To make the vampire appear, you have to visit 5 locations with strange writing on the walls in the city. After finding the writings, there's a specific alleyway where you might find him. Arthur Morgan marks each location of the writings. Each location is actually a murder site. And all the locations form a pentagram on your map showing you the final location of the vampire. The vampire appears at midnight. He's busy drinking blood for the next meal, and then he attacks. He'll only sometimes appear, though. It took us hours of attempts before the Nosferatu-looking creep appeared. Luckily, unlike most vampires, a couple of gunshots are enough to put this ridiculous Easter egg down for good. And number 10 is the secret party room in Cyberpunk 2077. Dogtown, probably the most popping place in the game, but if you want to attend a party and get a free unique gun, you got to find this place. Located near your makeshift apartment in the Phantom Liberty expansion, there's a locked door that only opens at a very specific time. By climbing the crane and exploring the ruins of a destroyed building, it's a seeming dead end. You find this mysterious locked door. You wait till 7 a.m. precisely and the door opens. Inside are a bunch of chromed out chooms having a party at the crack of dawn. Don't know why. We just know that the place is going nuts. They got psychedelic stuff going on. The crate in the back has one of these rare X-Mod guns that you earn in the DLC. They're all hidden in wild rooms like this. There are other rooms that are somehow even more rare or bugged, but none of them are this fun. At number 9 is Chris Houlihan's room in Legend of Zelda: Link to the Past. It's one of those rare the rarest of Easter eggs. The unwanted Easter egg. Developers tried to remove this Easter egg multiple times from the North American version of the Super Nintendo Classic, but it kept coming back because, well, sometimes you can't keep a good Easter egg down. Prior to the launch of Link to the Past, the Nintendo Power magazine in the 90s ran a contest. The winner could earn themselves a secret room. Now, we know the winner's name because there's a plaque on the secret room that says, "My name is Chris Houlihan. This is my top secret room. Keep it between us, okay?" And the room is so hidden, discovering it's impossible for normal players. It involves sprinting at a secret bush outside Hyrule Castle. It's not totally clear how it works either. Players have managed to figure out a semi-consistent way to enter the room, but none of it makes any sense. The room itself isn't even that impressive. There's a bunch of rupees and a message from Chris Houlihan, which is a funny name. Sounds like something out of an Adam Sandler sketch in mid-90s SNL, but we can't say the room was worth the drama. Some random kid got to be a footnote in video game history. That's a pretty great prize in our book. At number 8 is 1-800-EXPLOSIONS from GTA 5. This Easter egg in GTA 5 is so random, it's kind of just hard to explain. By calling a specific phone number in single player, you gain a contact called Black Cell Phones. The phone changes color and explosions happen nearby. Nothing about this weird Easter egg makes any sense whatsoever. The other mysteries in GTA 5, like the weirdo cult you can join, actually have an in-game explanation. This is a bunch of nonsense that nobody could ever figure out on their own. You call a number and an explosion happens. It feels like a random string of code setting off a nonsensical trigger, but it's not because GTA 5 has been data mined over and over again since its release in 2013, and this phone code wasn't caught until 2016, and still nobody gets it. By inputting the code 1999 EMP drop in your phone, you'll change your device skin and generate an explosion over the player's head. By the title, you'd think that it's an EMP, an electromagnetic pulse explosion, which, it knocks out the electronics in an area, but that's not it. It's an explosion. explosion, like a regular explosion. I don't know if it's cut content that's still in the game or like a developer thing or something. I don't know. It's really weird. At number 7 is Wesker's photo from Resident Evil 2. The Resident Evil 2 remake pays homage to one of the most famous Easter eggs of all time, a secret you'd have to be insane to figure out on your own. The remake makes this Easter egg a little easier to find, but it's the same principle. You gotta search a desk 50 times. Now in the remake, you'll find rolls of film that develop in a dark room. After finding the film in the sewers, break room, you'll be able to return to the police station, develop it, and you get pictures of secret locations. By checking those locations, you get upgrade items. One of those locations is Wesker's desk. By interacting with the desk, you get a reward, and now interact with it 50 more times. Why you would do this, I do not know. We have no idea, but it is exactly the same as the original game. After checking it 50 times, you get a picture of the STARS rookie Rebecca Chambers in a basketball outfit. Why a basketball outfit? I don't know. Maybe Rebecca plays basketball, and you know what? It doesn't matter. It's an Easter egg. That's why. That's why it's there. That's why basketball. Okay? It is a much higher quality photo in the remake. We're glad Capcom copied it from the original, not because it's a great Easter egg or anything, but because the Easter egg's so infamously awful, it warms our hearts thinking of the thousands of players searching Wesker's desk 50 times all over again. At number 6 is the hidden date in Batman Arkham City. Calendar Man is a character that exists just for Easter eggs in Batman Arkham City. This character, found in a cell right at the start of the game, has special dialogues for significant dates, basically all the big holidays.
Independence Day for all.
There's 12 dates Calendar Man suggests you should visit him, and if you visit him for all those dates, he'll mysteriously escape his cell. But we're not talking about normal holidays, and there's a hidden 13th date you can check out by setting your calendar and visiting Calendar Man. Set your time to December 13th, 2004, and Calendar Man has totally different dialogue. He talks about the start of things, showing promise, growing and sticking with us until the end of days. Basically, he's talking about the founding of Rocksteady, the developer behind the Arkham games. It's a cute little message commemorating the day that Rocksteady opened its doors. While Rocksteady isn't necessarily riding so high after, do I need to say it? I'll say it. Suicide Squad killed the Justice League. We're hoping they can recover and return to their legendary status. Whatever they make next, we'll be marking our calendars in anticipation because they know they've got a lot to prove.
Well, well, well. And on today of all days, do you remember my early work? Flawed, but it showed promise.
At number 5 is the Cheater's Ring in Animal Well. One of the most obscure secret items in Animal Well is actually impossible to get in normal gameplay. The Cheater's Ring is a secret upgrade that is found in a chest players can't reach, and it's in a room that's not accessible to anyone. In one spot on the Animal Well map, there's a room players can't reach with a small, slightly invisible island in the background. It's barely visible, and there's another blocked-off chest that can only be reached by cheating. And therein lies the secret of the Cheater's Ring. It's both a ring that allows you to cheat and a ring that's exclusively made for cheaters. You have to cheat to reach the ring. Basically, you have to find a way to pass through walls where it's not intended. Most players use a warp trick using the wheel, bubble wand, and some quick platforming, but it isn't the only way inside. This way is ideal for speedrunners that are way too good at Animal Well. For reaching the impossible room, you get the Cheater's Ring. This upgrade gives your character no clips so they can literally pass through walls. If you're gonna cheat, you might as well go all the way. At number 4 is Happy Birthday, Lauren in Halo 3. A quick and easy one that wasn't discovered for a full 7 years, at least wasn't discovered by the mainstream internet. We know at least 2 people knew about this Easter egg. Lauren and her husband Adrian, a programmer at Bungie, that added this little secret. To make a little birthday message for Lauren appear, set the console or computer date to December 25th. On that date, Halo displays a secret birthday message, and obviously someone had to see it. But there's more than just a date. On the right day, you'll need to reach the campaign loading screen and hold down on both sticks to slowly move the Halo ring and reveal the hidden birthday message. That's the part nobody would ever think to do. The loading screen, even on the Xbox 360, can go by pretty fast, and you might not get a good look. Loading takes longer from a physical disc, so if you want to try this for yourself, get a disc copy of Halo 3, and then we can all send birthday greetings to Lauren. At number 3 is the Euphoria in Elden Ring, the rarest weapon in Elden Ring, in fact. Not because of its low drop rate, but because it's just so ridiculously hard to find. Literally nobody would follow the route it takes to get it. Starting from the final dungeon of the expansion, you have to follow a convoluted series of drops, taking a secret path across ledges, walkways, elevators, and jumping through the windows of towers. Yes, jumping through the windows of towers. Something you're not going to think to do that. It's a long and arduous trek from one of the most precarious ruins in the world, leading into the final area all the way down to one of the starting sections, all while making difficult jumps and dodging high-level enemies. It's insane. If you're willing to take the long dead-end path, a path nobody would take for any reason, and that you can only barely survive if you carefully manage your falls, you'll reach the hidden Euphoria weapon at the end of the path. It's not exactly an Easter egg, but it's such a weird weapon with such a weird path to unlock it, we had to put it on this list. It's also one of our favorite discoveries of all time, and if you're curious, the Euphoria has a special mechanic that increases its power based on the number of hits you've landed. If you're good at avoiding damage, you can build up a killer damage modifier. Now, we're not that good, but maybe you are, so yeah. And number 2 is Duck Mode in Duck Hunt. One of the simplest secrets is also the most rare, the ability to unlock a hidden game mode. It's so easy, and it's all for a video game basically every human being owned for a period of time in the mid-'80s. By plugging in a second controller, player 2 could control the duck and suddenly change directions in the way the computer-controlled ducks could never do. It's one of the most infamous old games ever made, and most players had no idea there was another way to play. It's a totally secret little Easter egg mode that's actually surprisingly fun. In the era of player profiles and pairing Bluetooth devices, a weird secret like this just can't survive anymore. And at number 1, playable cut content from Bloodborne. Some of the most impossible, hard-to-find content ever is found in Bloodborne. Not in the main game, but in the weirdo Chalice dungeon system. By mixing up items and inputting dungeon seeds, players can encounter content they were never meant to find in the randomly generated dungeons. This is a type of secret we haven't really encountered anywhere else. But what makes it so special is it can be done in an unmodded version of Bloodborne on its original console. That's rare, and the monsters are definitely worth checking out. By inputting very specific seeds, basically strings of numbers and letters, you can generate cut content bosses. There's 2 strange bosses the community has discovered that are basically fully functional. There's the horse-like thing, it's a graceful creature with tall hairs. And a slimy squid that pathetically crawls on the floor and slams its tentacles at you. The squid monster shares a striking resemblance to the terrifying moon presence, the true final boss of the game, but much, much weaker. Whether any of this was intended to be seen is debatable, but these Easter eggs are available for anybody to check out. And that's a whole lot of ridiculously rare Easter eggs. Whether they require inputting a string of random code in the exact right way or searching a desk 50 times, these are things you really have to fight for if you want to check them out. And there's so many more out there, so let us know the rarest Easter eggs you've found. Until then, we're going to keep hunting for secrets. I do have a bonus for you. I hid it behind the summary at the end of the video. The ZX Spectrum emulator in GoldenEye 007. This, it's fun. Playing games on emulators has always been a tradition, and fans have been downloading and sharing games since the dawn of the internet. But there's one way to access an old console that we didn't know about, at least back then, and that's that the Nintendo 64 build of GoldenEye has a full-fledged ZX Spectrum emulator. It is a console a lot of North Americans don't know anything about. The ZX Spectrum was an old console that's popular in the UK, and it's where the game developers at Rare first got started developing games. So there's a functional emulator in the game code you can't normally access. Back in the day, it was discovered using GameShark codes, but now we access it through emulators. So you can emulate a game with an emulator inside of it. Reportedly, it was intended to be an unlockable cheat code, but it was probably copyright issues that scared Rare away from doing that. That's all for today. Leave us a comment. Let us know what you think. If you like this video, click like. If you're not subscribed, now's a great time to do so. We upload brand new videos every day of the week. Best way to see them first is, of course, a subscription, so click subscribe. Don't forget to enable notifications, and as always, we thank you very much for watching this video. I'm Falcon. You can follow me on Twitter and book me on Cameo at Falcon the Hero. We'll see you next time right here on gameranx.